We are back at it again here with another video with the Invest for Tomorrow. To the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all subscribers, welcome back. Here we are with the SPY, the SP 500 index, hitting a dip area on Friday. And we were talking about watching this on the 30-minute. And so far doing a complete transition here from the dip to the rip. Just hitting its first bright green bar here within the volatility. Now, today within the volatility, our SPY bot sent out a bull indicator at 10 a.m. And from that moment forward, inflows crossed the midpoint to the upside, full strength there on 42 vision, and call options went up 100% plus within hours, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description. To the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by receiving this clarity and edge and using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. So here we are with the SPY completing a full transition, but this bar has not confirmed just yet. You could see how it's bouncing around from dark green to bright green. Still has another 9 minutes to go until this bar confirms, but full strength here today, and we're going to break it all down. But before we do, I want to share with you guys the home run opportunities that were mentioned this morning over at the Discord. So the home run of the day was spectacular and beyond expectations, and if you guys want to know about these stocks early on in the pre-market and receive this edge and clarity of the charts, check out the link down below in the description to the Discord, and by joining, you'll become part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together. So the first home run was from our AMD bot. Our AMD bot sent out a bull indicator at 10:10 a.m. and from that moment forward, inflows crossed the midpoint to the upside, full strength there on 42 vision, and call options went up 70% plus within an hour, guys. And our second home run, we caught this one in the pre-market sitting sideways, and that was HARP. And in the pre-market, it got that bull indicator. Inflow started to pick up towards the bell, and even after the bell, full strength there on 42 vision, and it hit a highest point of 150% plus, guys. If you guys want to know about these stocks early on in the pre-market and receive this edge and clarity of the charts, check out the link down below in the description to the Discord. We look forward to having you join us, and we strive for opportunities like these every single day. Let's jump into these charts. So here we are with the SPY. As you can see, that bar is about to confirm in 5 minutes. It kept jumping around from dark green to bright green, but so far on 42 vision, a full transition has happened here. We had transitioned fully from a rip area to a dip area on Friday, and here we are today going from a dip area to a rip area. And for those of you coming across the channel for the first time, this is 42 vision, and it allows us to see the dips from the rips and the rips to the dips to maximize within the volatility and being able to see where the strength and weakness lies. And on top of that, we use our bull and bear indicators and inflow versus outflow as an extra layer of confirmation, which I'm going to pull up here, and you can now gain access to as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of our growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together, using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. And in today's video, I'm going to pull up the inflow versus outflow indicator, which adds that extra layer of confirmation and gives us that edge within the volatility. So here we are with the SPY, with the inflows crossing the midpoint. They actually had fallen, and we were looking for them to pick back up and how these transitions would happen, and if a bull indicator can pop up to cancel out that bear indicator. We were looking for that on Friday, and today at around 394, right around the middle of the day, and those inflows crossed over slightly before that, confirmed with that bull indicator and these full transitions here of strength on 42 vision, and it started to go up to the point that it's hit a high right now as I'm doing this video, and it's taking off. If we zoom into the volatility on the 5 minute, right there from around 395 to 396.80s, almost trying to go towards 397, and you could see how those inflows are pulling away from the midpoint with full strength. Now, we need to talk about what's going on here, because yes, we've done a complete transition. Could it continue into tomorrow? Well, there's CPI data that is coming out very soon, and we're going to break that all down in this week, because it can make or break the strength behind this move so far. And like I've stated, there's going to be a continuation of volatility. Look how much volatility in the last several days, right? Up all the way up from way down here at 390s, back up to 398, rejected all the way back down to 390s again, and now bouncing back up through that key resistance of 395 and fighting to try to stay above it, or will it test it again and come back to the 390s? We're still below that psychological level of 400, and the volatility will persist. And what I'm doing, not financial advice, just my opinion and perspective alone, maximizing within the moves, right? What the charts present us day by day within the volatility and where the strength and weakness lies, right? That's what I've been watching and talking about all year. Now, the psychological level of 400, if it's your first time coming across the channel, a lot of people are speculating, right? This isn't guaranteed, but the speculation is that anything above 400, the bulls are back in play. They have strength over the chart, and anything below it, the bears are taking over. And then the next psychological level, based off the history of the chart, when you zoom out here, is 390, guys. Because once it broke out way back here and the inflows picked up, right? They went from -7 all the way to +16 of inflows. They crossed the midpoint, got that bull indicator. The SPY jumped up from 374 all the way to 390s. That's the date once Jay Powell spoke and everybody was excited. And then again here, Jay Powell spoke and other Fed members have been speaking within these jumps, right? And every time we've had huge inflows, it's after the Fed makes things seem dovish, but then the data that's been coming out has been eating up and slowing down the pace of the uptrend, making everyone believe that either the Fed is wrong or that they may have to change what they just thought or said, right? But back to November 10th when those inflows crossed over, we have found support multiple times near 390 to 392, and that is a key level of support and psychological where, apart from being below 400, the bears are starting to get strength. If it breaks through 390, the bears are actually pulling on the bulls and making them weaker, and that the chart overall is losing strength. So far, it's been bouncing all this time above 390. So 400, key psychological level of resistance slash support if it's going to go higher or stay below it. And 390 is really where that tug of war of psychological level that people are speculating on, that the bears have won the tug of war and that they're going to start taking over the chart, and we can start testing previous support levels that we've seen earlier this year and that we've broken away from. Right now, what is it that is going to make or break this rally that's happening here? And so far the inflows have been so strong that we've crossed over on the 1 hour. It's getting a bull indicator here. It needs to confirm though. This bar just popped up. It still has 54 minutes to go for it to confirm, but inflows have crossed here. I'm going to be watching if it could stay above the midpoint, or is it going to slow down and come back below it going into tomorrow. And I'm going to tell you guys why this is important. And also, the 30-minute is just completing a full transition here. Doesn't mean it has to stop right there, but it has to continue with strength. And usually once we hit those bright green bars, if it's not this strong like it did back here on November 30th, well then it's not going to be much more after it, right? The last few times we've hit bright green bars, it's been 3 of them back to back, 4 or 5 of them, but afterwards things do tend to slow down. Now it is in a consolidation here between 392 and 398, and that's where the fight is going to be, where, okay, if we cross over 398, how much strength do we have towards 400, and how strong is the breakaway from it? Because it has to be very significant. Now, if we go down towards 392 and then it breaks through 390, how strong will the breakdown be? Because the CPI data can stir up here where we're at. This is in a very tight consolidation, and either the bulls or bears are going to take over in the next few days and weeks with the data coming out and how the Fed responds, because that's coming up as well. So when is the CPI data release? That's what we're going to break down here, and I'm going to share with you guys the key levels I'm watching. So CPI data will be released tomorrow, right? Tomorrow in the pre-market, and this is going to be very important because if it comes in hotter than expected, right, a higher CPI read, it could shock the markets because the last reading seemed like inflation was coming down and that everything the Fed is doing is so far on track, right? But if it actually comes in hotter, right, and it's not coming in lower, that can really shock things to the downside or even spark volatility to the sideways action. Just a lot of zigzagging, right? Now, if it comes in less than expected and it continues to show that inflation is slowly coming down, it could probably go ahead and cancel out what PPI data did on Friday, because that came in hotter than expected, shocking the market, stating that the Fed might have to over tighten or continue this very aggressive track towards rate hikes. Now, if we continue to see CPI data and other data points and how the Fed reacts in the coming meeting that sounds dovish or a little less aggressive, the markets can find support here and bounce off of this with full strength, right? To try to retest 400 and see how it gets there. But if things are coming in hotter than expected and shocking the markets like on Friday, well, eventually that 390 support will be tested and probably broken through, and we need to see how significant it's going to break through it and what would be the next support. So we are at some pivotal dates coming up this week and on the charts. Now, the 30-minute full transition, on the 15-minute, you could see a full transition as well. We're at bright green bars. We're above the midpoint here. And on the 1 hour, we're still in the middle of transitions, about to get a bull indicator that has not confirmed. It has 50 more minutes for this bar to close and confirm. But very interesting enough, inflows have picked up. So what am I going to be watching? I want these inflows to cross back over the inflows from Friday, right? Which was about 2.66, 2.67. Now, currently it's sitting at 1.52. We want to see that break above that, because based off the history of the chart, it has room to go higher towards the 3 area and even up here towards 13 of inflows, right? So these inflows are still pretty weak, but it is a starting point for possible strength if it will continue into tomorrow. And here we are with that bull indicator and also that bar shifting between bright green and dark green. So we need to see what's going on here, as well as this still has 40 more minutes to confirm. But I'm going to be watching those inflows and how that bull indicator reacts. Now on the 15-minute, I'm going to be watching if these inflows can continue to go higher and how much strength it's going to have to stay above it. And if it comes back towards it, we're going to talk about supports that I'm watching. And on the 30-minute, same thing, right? Based off the history of the chart, we're currently getting closer and above the last areas of highest points of 2.8 to 1.9. And the highest recent point, which was on Friday, was 3.79. So based off the history of the chart, it has room to go higher, and it's currently sitting at 2.59. Now, what are the key levels I'm watching? Well, we're back above 395. That will be the first support I'll watch. Then below that is 392, 390, and if 390 gets broken through, 385. To the upside, we're going to watch here if it can get back above 400, and if it does, the next resistance is 403, and then above that is 405, guys. And I'm going to be watching for this bull indicator to continue to hold strong on the 15-minute, on the 30-minute. I'll watch if this one can go ahead and confirm here on the 1 hour, these inflows as well. And we want these inflows on the 30-minute and 15-minute to stay above the midpoint and continue with strength. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.